All right, let's talk about something we've probably all seen in our kitchens. You go to grab an onion, and it's got this weird black powder on it. Is that just dirt? Is it something worse? Well, today we're going to figure out exactly what that is and what you need to do about it.
You know exactly what I'm talking about, right? You reach for an onion to start dinner, and there it is. That black, sooty stuff on the skin, maybe even hiding between the layers. So what is it? And more importantly, is it safe to eat? We're answering all of that right now.
So, what is this stuff really? It's so tempting to just write it off as dirt from the farm, something you can just wash off and not worry about. But the truth is, it's a little more complicated than that.
And hey, if you've seen this, you are definitely not alone. It's super common, especially when you peel back that dry, papery outer skin and you find those strange black smudges underneath.
Okay, so this brings us to the science behind all that soot. The actual name for what's causing it might just surprise you. The culprit is a very common mold called Aspergillus niger. Yep, you heard that right. It's a fungus. This little guy is found basically all over the world, hanging out in soil and on plants, which is exactly how it makes its way onto our vegetables. So how in the world does it get on your onion? Well, the spores are already in the soil where the onions grow, but the fungus doesn't really take off and become that black powder we see until the onions are stored somewhere damp. That humidity gives it the perfect little home to grow.
All right, let's get to the question that's probably on everyone's mind. Hearing the words fungus or mold in the same sentence as food is, well, it's a little unsettling. So is it actually dangerous? Look, for most healthy people, it's not a huge threat, but you can't say it's completely harmless either. For some folks, especially if you have sensitivities, eating it could lead to some pretty unpleasant stuff like nausea, headaches, or even some allergic reactions.
And this is really the crucial point. As doctors warn, under certain conditions, this fungus can produce something called mycotoxins, and those are harmful little compounds that could cause more serious health problems. So the takeaway here is really simple. If you've eaten an onion and you start feeling a little off, with any of those symptoms, don't just blow it off. It's always a good idea to check in with a doctor. Okay, so we know what it is and we know the potential risks. Now for the really practical part. How do you safely handle an onion that has this black stuff on it? Good news, you don't always have to throw the whole onion out. Just follow these 4 steps. First, carefully peel off those outer layers that have the mold on them. Second, give the onion a really good wash under running water. Third, cut away and throw out any parts where the mold looks like it's gone deeper into the onion itself. And fourth, this one is super important. Wash your hands, your knife, and your cutting board with soap and water. But there are definitely times when you should just toss it. If the onion smells bad or musty, if it feels soft or mushy, or if that black mold is just everywhere and won't wash off, yeah, it's not worth it. Just throw it out. And this really shows why that last cleaning step is so important. Mold spores are microscopic, and they can spread so easily. If you don't clean your hands and your tools properly, you could end up spreading it to other food in your kitchen without even knowing it. Now that we know how to deal with it, let's talk about how to stop it from happening in the first place. What are some simple things you can do to prevent Aspergillus niger from setting up shop on your onions? It really all comes down to good storage. Remember, this fungus loves moisture, so you want to keep your onions in a place with good air circulation. Storing them in an open basket or one of those mesh bags is perfect. What you absolutely want to avoid is keeping them in a sealed plastic bag or an airtight container, because that just traps moisture. A couple of smart shopping habits can make a huge difference too. Instead of buying a giant bag of onions that's going to sit around for weeks, maybe just buy what you think you'll use soon. And when you're at the store, just give them a quick check. Pick the ones that feel firm and look dry and fresh. So let's kind of bring this all together. The goal here isn't to make you terrified of onions. It's about empowering you with a little bit of knowledge so you can make smart choices. And this quote just sums it up perfectly. It's all about being aware, not alarmed. Once you understand what this black powder is and how to handle it, you can protect your health and, at the same time, avoid throwing out perfectly good food. A little knowledge really does go a long way. So, with all this in mind, what's one thing you'll look for or do differently the next time you're buying or storing onions? Just thinking about that one small change can make all the difference. Thanks for tuning in.